Alright guys, now the harvest is over. Still got some other things going on. I have just about a wagon load of loose straw here. It was in the barn. There's some loose hay mixed in. I got two bales of hay here that were too wet when I baled them. They have some black spots in them. I want to take them up to the field. Where some of the places where the ground is thin, where the corn didn't do so well, I'm going to take this up and spread it around up in the field. Give it some time to decompose before next spring. Yeah, it would probably work a lot better if I had a manure spreader. I had 3 of them when I was over at my dad's. I had a new Idea 213, which was a pretty nice spreader that I had restored and painted. I had a New Holland, is it a 155? One of those models. And I had one of those McCormick ground drive spreaders. I sold them all, so it's not going to be as easy. I'm going to have to take this up and then fork it off, spread it around the field. But we'll make do with what's here. We have the barn floor nice and clean now. Got it all swept up the other day. Got all this loose stuff loaded. I have some hay that's sold sitting there. I have some other hay sitting here. And of course all the hay I made up there. And we got a couple bales of straw here still left over, but pretty well got everything cleaned up. Got the floor cleaned up and loaded on this forage wagon turned hay wagon. So that's why it's nice to have at least one wagon with solid sides if you have to move something around or handle any type of material. So yeah, we're gonna get the 685 and take this up in the field and see if we can't spread it around and try to get some more organic matter in some of these thin spots. It's a little cold today. Actually, the 986 is a better cold weather tractor than the 685 is. But it'll start. And the corn head's still here. It'll probably be here till well after Thanksgiving. Like I say, they're up with my neighbors now doing soybeans. Doesn't look like there's any rain in the forecast, so maybe they'll get done pretty soon. But he didn't want to have to haul this back and forth. They only had one header cart, and the grain head more or less has to stay on the header cart. So they asked if they could just drop it off at my place, or just let it at my place for a couple days. Like I said, I put that rock on Instagram that was, well, I let these diesels warm up. I'll show you this rock. This rock got in the corn head somehow when we were in the lower field and started banging around and making noise in the feeder house. That basically stalled the head the way it was jammed in. We couldn't find it right away. We opened the rock trap door, it wasn't in there. We kept reversing the feeder house, and the way we saw it finally, the auger was flexing up in the air, so we figured it must be under the auger. Whew, it's a cold day to do this. Now you could see right there on the auger where it was jammed underneath there and stalling everything out. So luckily it didn't do enough damage to sideline us for the day. But yeah, it's definitely one of those nuisance rocks like we have around here that gets in every once in a while. So I picked a pretty cold day to do this, but I'm gonna get it done anyway. Someday I will have a tractor with a cab with heat, air conditioning, 4-wheel drive. I've never owned a tractor that had a cab on it. My 986 is about as close as I come to having a cab, and that don't have a front windshield or side doors or back doors. And this, of course, we have the roof, which is nice in the summertime, but when I I was working on the dairy farm, we had a New Holland TM150, and in the winter time, a lot of the times it was my job to spread manure, and those days when it was 10, 11 degrees outside with wind blowing, that tractor had a nice heater. I will say that with that New Holland, the heater was very good, and I didn't want to get out. I just wanted to spread manure all day and not get out of the cab. So, but then again, until I bought the 685, I never had a tractor that had a roof over it, so we're slowly upgrading, I guess. But I don't know, for today we can be cold for a couple hours. I start forking, I'll start to warm up, I guess. Like I say, I want to take this out to where the ground is real thin. It's not that much. Probably not going to have a huge impact, but at least it's out of the barn. The barn's cleaned up for the winter. I could rebale it, but that takes a lot of time. A lot of this straw that was left over was from the mice that were in the bales chewing through. And you got a lot of busted bales. Real fine, like a chaff almost, so it's not worth the time rebaling it and trying to sell it. It's better off as a fertilizer. So I'm going to cut out through here, and I'm going to take this right out to where the corn was so bad this year. Like I say, there's about 18 rows out here that was just nothing. Just bad nutrients, light ground. I'm probably not going to rotocut the corn stalks. I know a lot of guys like to. I'm not going to bother. I know a lot of guys say about no-till being lazy man's farming, but if it's going to save fuel, and you're going to save some moisture over winter with the snow that it's going to catch, you're going to save the residue from blowing away. I don't want the residue to go anywhere. And in the spring when they come to plant, they have a pretty good system for cutting through residue. So we're just going to let these let the stalks stand for now. Like I say, I don't want to disturb the root ball where the corn stalks are on. It's going to help hold the soil here. Sometimes if you rotocut it, breaks it up a little bit. So I can see my neighbor on the Massey over through the hill. He's still doing corn. I'll zoom in when he gets up here through the trees. He's up in that 30 acres up there. I just saw him. Yeah, he was over the other day saying I needed a combine. You need your own combine, and I'm never going to get done this year. Well, he has his own machine and it keeps breaking down and he's delayed, so I guess I'm ahead of him now, but and it looks like that's the International. Yeah, he's got the International up and running again. I'm sorry for the wind noise too. It's pretty windy up here today and cold. Alright, I'm going to get this spread. And in case anybody's wondering, I did pull all the strings out of it, so I'm not spreading any strings on the field. There they are. So this probably isn't going to amount to much as far as fertilizer goes, but at least the barn's clean. Like I say, it's a real fine chaff. You're not going to be able to rebale it. And being that it's windy, more or less all you need to do is throw it up in the air and it'll spread itself. So it was a lot easier unloading than loading. But there's some of these bare spots in this field where the ground is just so thin, so it's an ideal place to put it. But it's definitely a windy, cold day. All right, so basically all I want to do is sweep the rest of this floor up so it's clean, and get some pictures of the hay. Soon time to start advertising hay once we get on into winter a little bit further. So I guess that's where this video is going to come to an end. So follow me on Facebook and Instagram. Hit the subscribe button if you want to. If not, that's all right. But as always, thanks for watching.